This is going to be for part number 2. I'm going to try to record all of these for all the parts just in case any of you are missing for a day. That way you can follow along on your own paper for when you're home. Okay, so looking at number 2, we have a bunch more tick marks all the way around the part. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at is this castle looking shape. All right. And we got all of these symbols along the top there. All right, so here we can start with our favorite corner down on the bottom right because it actually is part of the part. So if we look at it here, counting all these spaces, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again, meaning that we're looking at 14 total in length. All right, so I'm going to be starting over here. Okay, so right about here, I'm going to count over 14 to the left. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, right? That's going to be the total length of our part. From there, what I can see is that there is a single double space right here. And since there's no marking over on this side, I can assume that both sides are going to be the same. Okay, so this means we're going to go up 2 on either side of our line here. Okay, so we're looking at that. And then we have these 3 spaces right here showing that each of these platforms on the left and right hand side are going to go in 3 for marking those out. Okay, so now we're looking at that. From there, we have to move over here to see these 2 doubles, meaning that the part is going to go up 4 from there. So our total height of the part is going to be 6. So going up 4, 2, 4, right here, and then 3 plus 1, 4. Okay, just like so. All right. Then what we can see here is that we got 2 different measures for each of our squares here, which can be the same for both of these up here, but they're both 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into right here and here to kind of mark out the front. Okay, and then from there, I can just map out that these are both squares. So I'm just going to go back to on both of them and fill them out like so. So all I'm doing is mapping out the top part of this castle looking shape. All right, from there, I can see that this gap is 1. So each of these indents here go down 1. So where I'm going to see that is I'm going to come down 1 off of both of these corners on the inside, like so. And then from here, come down 1, connect, and connect. Okay? So I'm just connecting the lines where I see fit. That way I know that there's going to be 3D space here. You don't want to miss these tiny lines because they will count against you when you turn in the assignment. Okay? From there, okay, that's pretty much all the front face. What we have to do is we have to count these spaces in between the single tick marks in order to find the actual depth of the part. So we count back 7 for each of these spaces. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right here. Okay, I know that we have to go up 2, so just closing out that shape. Then we have to go back 3 here, and then we just finish out that corner for right now. Again, we go up 4 for the back side, so 2, 4, just like that. And then we're going to have another square, but make sure that you come inside the part. Okay, don't go this way because that'll be outside the part. So you want to make sure that you're going inside because this is as far back as we're going to go. Okay? From here, we have to use the part against itself. We know that this gap is 4 from the front side. So we're going to go down 1 to match this and then over 4, okay, to follow that inside indent. Okay? Then we'll pop back up 1. We'll draw another square. Remember, we're on the inside edge here, so we have to go back 2 in order to meet the back side of the part. Fill out that square, and you can connect where the lines are going to be or that inside indent on the back side. Okay? From there, we make the assumption that we go down another 1 to find this line right here. So, if we already went down 1 and we add another, this right here is 2. So we're going to come down 2 off of the inside corners of each of these squares that we can see. Okay? All you have to do from there is just connect. Okay? So we're looking at that. The last thing we have to do is add our depth over on the left-hand side. So off of this edge, I'm going to count back 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to have a small corner that we see just behind the part up there, and then just connect where you're going to see the line. Okay, so that should be all of our object lines minus the circle so far. And for the time being, I'm going to get rid of the score so I have room to draw my circle. Okay, so looking at our circle, it's going to be pretty easy. It's located right in the middle of the part, here and here. So the bottom edge of the circle is only 1 up from the bottom of the part, so somewhere along there. We have 2 spaces for the single tick marks over in our picture, so I'm going to count up 2, and that's going to give us our top boundary of the circle. Then if you look along the bottom, it falls right in the middle of the part here. So we have to count over 6, okay, to find the left-hand side of that circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So it's going to fall right on this line. We already know our diameter is 2. So I count over 2, and there's our singular circle. Okay? One thing you guys need to note is that we're drawing it now on the front face of the part. So instead of it lying like this, when we have a top view, okay, so this is the top, okay, this changes for the front view, okay? So the front view measures our height and our left to right, okay? So we're going to be measuring this because we're looking from the front, okay? So that means our crosshair is going to look like this compared to the top view, okay? Again, your crosshair should be parallel to the side to side and the uprights of your box. From there, draw the circle the best you can within that boundary. And all you have to do is erase the box afterwards in order to make sure that I believe that you know how to draw circles now. Okay? So, give me a quick second so I can hop over to the ortho page. Okay, so now we got our ortho paper up. So all we have to do is start drawing, right? So if we remember, we have the total length of 14. We go up 2 over here. We have another 4 over here. This space right here is 3. And then each of these squares is 2 by 2. Okay, we can assume that for all 4. Our total depth is 7. And we have this inner depth as 1, and then 2 right here, and then 1 right here. Okay? So that should give us most of everything, and then I'll insert this 4 again since I'm done drawing my circle. Okay? So that should give us everything that we possibly need in order to draw our orthographic views. Okay? So starting down here, I'm going to count over 14, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I'm going to count up 2, and then in 3, and then up 4, and then in 2 again, and then down 1. Okay, so I just mapped out all of our object lines. So all I'm doing is filling this in. And if you remember, this should be on a brand new piece of paper, then number 1. Okay? Want to make sure that you leave yourself plenty of space to make sure that you have enough room to draw all of your views. I don't want them squeezed in on the paper without being aligned with everything else. Okay? So we have everything. All we have to do is map out where this inner platform is, which is 2 down from the very top. So I'm going to count down 2, and I'm going to have a hidden line coming all the way across through here. Okay? Now what's left is mapping out where our circle is going to be. Okay? So we already know that the distance here is 1 and the diameter of the circle is 2. Okay? That tells us that the radius of the circle is 1, so I can map out where that center point is going to be. And if you also remember, to find the left-hand boundary, we count over 6 to find the left-hand point of the circle. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm going to count over 6, so 3, 6. That marks out our left-hand side. Our diameter is 2. We have to go up 1 in order to find the bottom. And again, our diameter is 2. So we have that box right there in order to map out our circle. Okay? Then you draw your center point again, just like that. And then you fit the circle in as best as you can inside that box. Okay? Again, make sure that your crosshair doesn't touch the edge of the circle. You want to leave enough space to show me that is actually a circle and not some funky shape on top of the part. Okay? What you can also determine from your front view is that this circle goes all the way through the part because there are no extra object lines or hidden lines on the back side of the part. Okay? The only hidden line we should have right now is right here. Okay? So, just to add some measurements so none of you are lost. We have 2. This is all 14. And then if we go here to here, this should be 6. No, my bad, 7 to the center. We have an additional 4. This is 2. And another 4 for that gap. And another 2. This is 3 right here. And we can assume the same over on there since we don't change either way. Okay? Those should be all the measurements you need in order to figure out number 2 for the front view. Alright? Then bringing this over for our side view. Okay? I know that we're going to be going up 2. Our depth is 7, so I'm going to count back 7. 3, 6, 1, 7. Counting up there. We have to add 4 to reach the top of the part. Okay? Then we know each of these squares is 2 by 2. So I'm going to come in 2 on either side. And then we have to come down 2 to find this line right here. Okay? So I'm going to come down 2. Just like that. Okay? That should map out all of our object lines. Like so. And make sure you leave this space right here open because this platform is flat all the way through the part. There should be no object line right here. Okay? Once you have all of that, you have to account for these inner slots right here, which are 1 down from the top of the squares. So you're going to have a pair of hidden lines, 1 down from the very top for each of those squares. Okay? That's all we have for right now in terms of normal flat planes. Okay? From there, if you notice, the center of the circle falls on that object line, which translates over to here. Okay? So just like we did with number 1, for that back circle, you're going to have little dash marks outside 2 up from the bottom of that part to show where the center lies for that circle in that hole. Okay? And then we know the diameter is 2, meaning that our radius is 1. So 1 up and 1 down from where that center line is, you're going to have a pair of hidden lines. Alright? Just like that. Okay? And that lets us move on to our top view. But real quick for some measurements. Okay? Again, we're going to have 2 here, and then we go up 4. These are both 2. Okay, and then this gap is 3. Our total depth is 7. And that should give you everything you need in order to figure out the side view for number 2. Okay? Moving on to our top view, we're just going to bring this straight up. Okay? So here to here is a total of 14. We know that we have to go back 7. So 2, 4, 6 plus 1 is 7. Bring that all the way over to here. Okay? We're going to have rectangular shapes right here that are 3 wide. Okay? So from either side, you're going to count in 3. And just to help see that, I'll fill in these shapes. Like so. Okay? Now all we have to do is mark out where we're going to have our different squares, which fit in this inside rectangle, 2 by 2, just like that, 2 by 2, 2 by 2, and 2 by 2. Okay? We're looking at that. Then we have to mark out these inner edges, which just fall right here and here. Okay? That should give us everything we need. So again, for the measurements, we have 14, we have 7, this is 3, and then these are all 2 by 2. Okay? That's really all you need for right now. And then from our front view, we can bring up the center straight through the middle. Okay? I'm going to lower that arrow just a little bit so I have room. Okay? So we're going to have a traditional center mark, like so. Okay? Long dash followed by a short, followed by another long. Okay? And then we can also bring up the edges for the circle, one on either side. So you're going to end up with a pair of hidden lines going through the part just like this. Okay? And that's really it for number 2. Okay? If you have any questions, make sure you email me or send me a message on Canvas and I'll respond to you as soon as I can. Or if you're in class, save your questions for the next time you see me. Okay? I hope all of you have a great day, and this video will be posted on Canvas very soon.